Hi everyone, I wanted to share some Usborne fiction with you. These are really fun books to read. I love them all. In fact, I think Usborne fiction is becoming some of my favorite fiction. I wanted to share some of them with you for all ages, starting with, this is The Hushabye Owl for obviously infants. Has crinkles and textures and fun pages that the infants can chew on, so that is a really fun book for little tiny kids. Here's a couple other hardback books. I don't really have infants so much anymore, so I don't buy very many of them, but this is a really fun book. It says, "Who do you want to be when you grow up?" This one has a lot of animal occupations in that one. How to Brush Your Teeth with Snappy, Croc. Another really fun book. Do you have a little one who just doesn't want to brush their teeth? So how do you brush a crocodile's teeth? Really fun book there. We've got Slide and See. I was not too fond of Lift the Flap books when my kids were really little, so this is a good alternative. You've got places to slide, a little bit more difficult than flaps to rip out of the book, so I like that one as well. This one is the Slide and See Animals, really fun book there. We've got A Peek Inside the Fairy Tale. Riley loves Beauty and the Beast. That's the one that I wanted to share, but I can't find it. She's run off with it. So this Little Red Riding Hood will have to do. Really fun book. It's got this laser cut out here so you can peek a little bit onto the next page, which is fun, so you can anticipate, or maybe you can ask your young one, what do you think is coming next? So really good to engage the kiddos there. As your kids are starting to learn to read, this is what I'm still working on with Riley here. This series of Usborne's very first reading. I've got the series up here too, very first reading set. This is Pirate Pat. So as you're reading along with your child, you can read this part over here, and then you can help them start sounding out the word sit, Sam, sit on the next page. This Usborne reading set is set chronologically, so you work on book 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and on and on. They get progressively a little bit more difficult as you go on. So I like those. Those are really fun stories. We have, of course, all of these books Americanly, just like Animali. This one is really great. It has these pages that are more durable, but not a board book. So in between board books and then just paper books, we read this book and ask, well, who's been here? Where do you want to go? And it looks at all different places in America, saying, I love you strongly, like Tornado Alley's Wind. It's rhymey too, so it's a really fun book here. Dirty Dinosaur is one of our favorites. A neat little tidbit, all these illustrations were actually made with mud, actual mud, and then they took the pictures of it. Again, a rhymey book with these more durable pages. You can sing, this is a sing-songy one too. You can sing it to I'm a Little Teapot if you'd like to. So that's a really fun book there. I think I shared this one, Babies Come from the Airports. I love this book. Again, another rhyming book about adoption. Scribble and Author. Riley really likes this one. The author created this little guy here, Scribble, and she wants a friend, but she has to go through these trials and tribulations, and in the end she draws herself a friend. So that's a really, really fun book there. My kids love to read the Blue Whale Blues because we, again, sing-song this one. I've got the Blue Whale Blues. So you just make them really fun. I've got the Blue Whale Blues. Again, we just kind of make these really fun. Everyone Poops, of course, a classic one because everybody poops and it's so fun and funny and your kids just laugh along with that. Dog and Mouse is a really good story about a dog looking for a friend, and the mouse helps the dog out every day. And then one day the mouse doesn't show up, and the dog realizes the mouse was the one that was his best friend. So I really like that story as well. I know I'm going through all these really fast because there's so many really great stories. If you liked Nibbles, I think that this one's a lot like Nibbles. This is The Curious Case of the Missing Mammoth. It's not laser cut like Nibbles is, but it does have a couple of flaps. And it is a really fun story about a mammoth who has gone missing, and the museum comes to life. So kind of Night at the Living Museum meets Nibbles, I think. Really fun story. Also has facts, little facts and snippets here and there, so you actually do some learning as you're reading along. This is a fun one of the new books from Usborne. Cordelia, I've shared, I know all the time because I love this book about the little girl who can do anything and then is told she can't, so her world gets gray, and then she decides, wait a second, I can do anything, and her world becomes colorful again. Again, a really great message and story there. We've got, let's see, I've shared here we go. Here's Hey Jack and Billie B. Brown. These are really great short stories. Once you start, the kids can start to read. You know, I read Billie B. to Riley though too, so we read these in one sitting, but your beginning chapter books are Billie B. Brown. I really like those. Lily the Elf is another fun. This is a little elf here who is scared of an owl and the midnight owl, and then the day she goes to meet the owl and decides that she's not frightened. The owl was lonely looking for a friend. So that's a really fun story. One to engage a reluctant reader for chapter books. It's almost written kind of comic booky, graphic novel-y, is Wheelnuts. It's races, five races all over the place, so all over the galaxy, right? So you've got the cars that are just racing along. Because it's colorful, kids tend to really like that one. Declan has just read through the Fizz series here. We just got this the other day and he's read through them. A little bit more than your beginning chapter book, so first, second grade, maybe third grade, likes to read these about this little dog who wants to be a police dog, but he's not scary and mean like typical police dogs, so he becomes an undercover dog, and it's a really fun chapter series there. We have Fairy Ponies. Again, it's second, third, fourth graders will like the Fairy Ponies, and even has Riley likes to listen to these stories. She's not reading them yet, and then it has the coloring book that goes along with it, so once you have your story, then you can have your kind of supplement story with the coloring there, so that one is fun as well. Oh, I didn't share this one. This is Dan the Taxi Man. This is actually one of our kids' favorite, again, because you can sing-song it. You've got Dan, beep beep, the taxi man. Going to the show and picking up the band. Climb inside while you still can with Dan, beep beep, the taxi man. So we, again, just make those really fun and kind of silly. We've got a couple more. So there's lots of fiction for your young adult as well. I've read this, the last 13. This is the last 13 book. Says 13 on it. It's actually the first book because it counts down. Trying to find 13 teenagers to save the world. So there's a lot of that. This is another one. This is a boy to save the world. These are all young adult, middle school, into high school, mostly fiction books. There's a couple other really great series, so if you are interested in that, I can lead you toward those. I hope you enjoyed some of these fiction books. Thanks.